Hello. So welcome to another episode of Who's in Your Contacts. I'm your host, Crystal Ellis. And so this is a place where culture, connections, and collaboration collide. I'm so excited. We're back. We're back. Oh, and as you know, if you've caught other episodes, I like to sing. I'm not necessarily, I'm not going to say that I'm not good at it. I'm working. I'm a work in progress. So if I do sing, just sing along with me. I have the pleasure of interviewing Nakia Vargas. Woo! Woo, woo. I'm so excited. The reason why I'm so excited about this is because we go back to the days of college and backpacks.
Yes.
And look at us now.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. You see how we have the tissue here? Because it just might get there. You know I'm a crier.
I understand.
I'm a crier.
I'm a singer too, so
Come on.
I can't sing, but I'm a singer.
We're gonna harmonize today.
Okay.
So let me tell you, I'm gonna read Nakia's bio, and then I'm gonna go into my I love you segment. Okay? All right. So let's talk about Nakia. I don't want to miss a word because you are in for some serious wisdom. So, Miss Vargas was born here in Rochester, New York. She is a wife and a mother of 3 amazing children. She graduated from the Rochester Institute of Technology in 2008, and she has been practicing accounting ever since through her business, Vargas Financial Services.
Yes. That's my baby.
So bomb. Okay, and you're going to hear more about Vargas Financial Services. So she does tax preparation, credit counseling, bookkeeping, and small to mid-size business consulting. However, she does feel like financial literacy. She doesn't feel, she knows that financial literacy is her purpose. So she also has a nonprofit organization called Above the Line Foundation. And then what that does, it helps support people break the spirit of poverty off of their lives, off of their finances, so that they can build generational wealth. She is also the founder of the Young CEO program, where she has there's just so many kids where she teaches how to become CEOs, how to become entrepreneurs, and they have actually launched so many businesses. What is also cool is that she's the inaugural faculty member of the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship, where she teaches within a curriculum built to move the market with high speed. And so what's so cool about the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship is that the technology is incredible. It's like up to speed.
Yeah.
Where with most institutions, after you've gone through a 4-year degree program or whatever the case may be, by the time you have graduated, a lot of the things that you've learned is outdated.
Yeah.
So while there's purpose for institutions because it gives you the foundations, but once you graduate, there's just some things that you have to just keep you may not have in your toolbox. But I think what is really neat about the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship, where you are a faculty teaching entrepreneurship, is that they evolve with the times.
Yeah.
And so they have created a way to just keep up. And the students are absolutely incredible. And it's also an honor to have co-taught with you.
Yay.
This past semester.
All this brilliance in one classroom.
You better. Come on now. So now for our I Love You segment. Here we go, Lord. Nakia Vargas. Wow. I fangirl you.
Oh my gosh.
I tell you all the time when I sit in the classroom with you and having the honor to co-teach with you, you are so brilliant. Entrepreneurship, wisdom, and love and honor comes out of your pores. It's who you are. What I love the most about you is how authentic you are. There is like no gray area. Where some folks there are gray areas with you, there's no gray. Um, and then to watch you literally kick doors in,
Oh,
to watch you show up in excellence, especially in spaces where sometimes excellence isn't expected, and you execute with precision
no,
every time.
no.
So it is a pleasure to know you. I'm glad that God has placed us in, in the path of each
He's
other.
very intentional.
He is so intentional.
Very intentional. I appreciate his intentionality.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Look,
So-
you trying to make me
Here's the
trying to make
napkins.
my eyes sweat.
Make my eyes sweat. Is that a song? It's not, but we're gonna make it up today.
It could be a song.
It could be a song. All right, so we're gonna open up with why accounting and finance. There's like so many things that you could have
Yeah.
gone into. Accounting and finance is really important, though.
Yes. So I grew up with a single mom, and I watched my mom be the first one in her family to own a house,
Yes.
and also the first one in her family to lose a house.
Hmm.
And I seen how devastating that was to her, how much it broke her spirit to lose that house. And I remember saying to myself as a kid, I'm going to learn everything I can learn about money, about finance, about budgeting to where I won't own a house and then lose a house, right? Also, my mom really instilled in us education, right? And I knew I wanted to be my own boss since I wanted to be two things, a mom and I wanted to work for myself. And when I was looking into careers that were around the time when this was happening, which was like 98, that's just tell you how far my mind thinks. Accounting was one of those ones that made good money. And I was good at math. Right? I was good at math. I was good at systems. I could break a system down from the inside out, even at a young age. Like, I didn't realize how brilliant my mind was because I just thought it was normal that if you worked hard, you got good grades. I did not realize it was not common for people to get the type of grades, have this type of understanding that I had. So in my mind, to not be poor means that I need to have education, and I was good at math, which means that I could do accounting, and accounting was a business that allowed me to run my own business. So it was a mix of talent and creating generational change. So accounting meant that for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to go back to when you talked about education means not being poor. That's an avenue of getting out of poverty.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the correlation between having wisdom and then how that relates to getting out of poverty?
So my mom always instilled in us that the only thing people can't take from you is what you know, right? Nobody can take your education away. Nobody can take away what you learn. So to me, if you know better, you can do better. And if someone teaches you a thing, you're able to use that skill for a lifetime. If someone shows you something once, you have to still try to figure out how to navigate. But when you're learning, when someone can teach you a skill set, you're basically teaching someone how to fish, right? So it's important that you learn how to fish more than it is to learn how to eat the fish, if that makes sense. So knowing the tips and tricks and just how to handle your finances, no one can take that from you. So no matter where you end in life, you can always put those skills back into place, right? You can always reutilize those skills. So if I teach you how to budget and you go off budget one time, if you know how to budget, you can get yourself back on track. But if I give you a budget that I've never taught you how to do or build, then you only know what I've given you. So it's very important to teach a skill set in order for people to be able to navigate life. Life be lifing.
Okay.
COVID was a curveball.
COVID was COVIDing.
Curve was like, oh, you got money? Let me snatch that away. Let me snatch your stability away. Let me snatch your know-how. Let me increase that debt for you. And that's not something people anticipated, right? People didn't anticipate their jobs getting shut down and people getting laid off. So the people who had the skill set, the wisdom on how to handle their finances survived. The people who didn't are still climbing from COVID right now. And some of them are still struggling. Some of them are still affected by some of the things that are happening now with SNAP and things like that. So the one who knows how, the one who has the skills, the one who has the knowledge, the education is rebounding. The one who doesn't, they're scraping, right? So it's very important to have that education so you can continue to use it and compound it as new information becomes available.
Okay. We have the look into the camera moments here. You said those who have the wisdom is rebounding.
So those who have the wisdom are rebounding. And those who do not have that wisdom, they're scraping. They're still trying to climb. And it's much harder to climb when you don't know how to get out of it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
And the education doesn't ensure that nothing will ever happen to you. But if it does happen, you have the tools, the techniques, what you need to get out of it.
I love it.
And that's what's important.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are an educator
I
to
didn't
the
know
core. You are, because you want to know what? In college, you always had the solution. You're like, this is how you do this, or this is. So you are a teacher to the core. And so having your young CEO program, you've talked about wisdom.
Yeah.
You talked about moving out of cycles of poverty. You talked about teaching people how to fish. And you are doing that through the Young CEO program. And that's for teens ages
15 to 18.
15 to 18.
Yeah.
Talk to us about how the program works.
So the Young CEO program is a program that advocates for teens 15 to 18 to learn personal finance, but also begin to start and run and think like an entrepreneur and run their own business. So for the first 4 to 5 weeks, we teach them budgeting, we teach them goal setting, we teach them about credit, we teach them about investing, we teach them just all things personal finance at a high school level. And then we shift into business planning, business ownership. So we have this business plan that we have them build. They build a 5-page business plan. And as we teach each section or each page of the business plan, we're teaching them MVP. We're teaching them problem solution, customer focused problem solving. We're teaching them target market. We're teaching them operations. How are you going to run? Are you an LLC? Are you a DBA? And then we teach them about finance. We teach them about risk analysis. And we have them build a comprehensive business plan, and that is how they get their $1,000 seed funding. So each student exits the program with a business plan, a bank account supplied by ESL Federal Credit Union, as well as $1,000 startup fund.
Wow.
Yeah.
So not only are you equipping, there's a funding as well.
Yes.
All right now.
Yes, ma'am.
You are, I want to go back to you being one of the inaugural faculty at the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
At the time, I didn't think it was, but now seeing where the Institute is and how it's just doing its thing, I'm like, man, I was here. I was a part of that. So that's pretty cool.
You know, when you say I didn't think it was, this, because I know you so well, is the level of humility that you have. That's one. And then 2, you're just like, I am here. This is where God has me. I trust the process. You never look for what you can get out of someone. It's just like never a thought process for you. You're just like, God, I thank you that I'm here, and I'm going to do the best that I can. And the students love
Yeah, that's
you.
what I heard. I'm a fan favorite.
You,
It's
they
not.
love
It's not
they
bad.
love they love you, and then they call you over, can you look at this, and the way how you're like, okay, I love, you're like, what what's your value proposition? I just loved it. They're like, and you're like, no, that's not it, go back to the
Yeah,
drawing
yeah,
board.
that's
You don't
not it.
answer the questions
No.
for them, you say, go back and think about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's really big part of my job, and what I love to do most is to teach the students how to think critically, right? Because if you can think critically, then one, you can solve a problem a different way, right? There could be many solutions to a problem, but your thought process, how you think, is special, right? So if you think critically about a problem, you can then formulate your own solution to that problem that's so unique that it can set you apart. So I like to challenge them to, they're just like, is this right? And I'm like, no, try again. You know what I mean? It's not, and without telling them, no, it's not right because of this. Now they have to go back, reevaluate, look over the prompts, look over the information, and then have that aha moment. And seeing the students with that aha moment is like, oh, I get it. But now that you've had that aha moment,
Yes.
it'll stick with you because you had to do a little bit of extra work to make it work, to make it stick, to get that understanding. So now it's going to stick with you. You're never going to forget what a paying gain or job is for a customer because I've made you actually ponder on it. So it's pretty cool.
It's really
It's
cool.
pretty cool.
It's real cool. All right, so we need all the knowledge and we need all the knowledge and the wisdom that
Oh.
we can get from Nakia Vargas
Oh.
today. All right, so having that financial literacy, A1,
Yes.
best person to learn from.
Yeah.
Accounting, awesome person to
Yeah.
learn from. Vargas Financial Services, please work
Yeah.
with her. Yeah.
Listen, I'm trying to figure out who you talking about.
I'm talking about
Look,
you.
talking about me.
I'm
You know what
talking.
I
I
mean?
am talking about you. So
You
we're
know
we're gonna
me.
get to we're gonna get all the I'm gonna get all the wisdom for you folks because I know that there's so many entrepreneurs
Yes.
and the entrepreneurs are just folks that are trying to get their lives together with
Absolutely.
finances. So we're gonna get all the gems for you today. So when you're working with a client who is self-employed or
Yes.
starting out, what key questions would you ask them to assess their financial health and readiness for growth?
First, I usually ask them about their money habits. Like, how good are you at budgeting? How good is your personal credit? Because your personal habits and your personal credit is the foundation as to how you will start your business, how you will run your business, how you'll manage your business. And a lot of times people don't understand that your personal credit, when you're looking for funding, that's what they look at, especially when you're starting out. If you can't vouch for yourself credit wise, then how can you vouch for your business? And then why would they vouch for your business? So a big thing that I have to ensure that they have on track. A lot of times my small business clients become budget and credit counseling clients because we have to ensure that when you stand in front of somebody and they're like, well, why would we invest in you? How are you personally? How do you handle money? And they can't say, well, my credit score is 750 or 720. That's a problem for people, right? That's a problem that if you can't handle your own finances, how are you going to handle my investment in your business? So a big thing that we start with is really budgeting, personal finance, and like credit health. And that determines how your business can get funded, how well you will handle the funds in your business and take it serious. So a lot of things, that's main thing that we work on.
Entrepreneurs are struggling. They are in the tension between I want to make a sale versus I need to have my own financial house in order.
Yeah.
How do you help entrepreneurs balance growth but also stability at the same time so that they can be around for longer than a year? Because new startups, they fail quite quickly.
Yes. What I see often is that they don't be they don't come in with a budget. Budget is really big. Like a budget for your personal life, a budget for your business is really big because you need to know how much money you need to bring home to go full fledged in that business. So You may be thinking making $5,000 a month in that business is great, but $5,000 a month doesn't cover your bills as well as the business bills. So you need to be able to have a budget so we can start off, okay, this is how much my housing costs, my life costs, and this is how much the business costs. So holistically, this is what I need to make. And that determines how you price yourself. It determines how you market yourself. It determines everything about your business, unless you're going to bootstrap it, which means you're going to work 2 times as hard to build that business because you have to work in order to support your business. And who wants to do that? Who wants to go halfway in their dream and full way into someone else's dream because that's how you've allowed yourself to fund your business? You don't want to do that. Unfortunately, it happens for a lot of people where you're working so hard at someone else's dream just to fund your dream halfway, right? You don't want to do that. So if you know what you need, if you know your numbers, if you know your budget, it's easier to set yourself up. I'm not going to do a tax return for $150 knowing that won't pay my bill, right? And that won't even pay the cost of the tax return. So now I know where to price my tax return, one, to receive what I need to pay my bills, but also to understand how to keep my business running, how to satisfy my clientele. So knowing your numbers on both ends, personal and business-wise, is very essential to ensuring that you're going to have longevity in your business.
Digging into finances, depending on how one was raised, for some people, talking about finances is just like, oh no, don't do it. Yes. And then others are like, yeah, that's okay. And so there's a correlation between those who have not had much financial literacy growing up in their most formative years versus those who are wildly successful. They either learned, they kind of hit a wall and then they've learned, or they've just always had that conversation growing up. What do you say to the entrepreneur or to the everyday person who is working a 9 to 5 where they want to clean up their credit, they want to succeed in entrepreneurship, but they are in debt? It's just a complete financial mess. So it's easier to look away and act like the problem is not there versus I'm going to hit this head on. So how do you help those individuals who are like, I don't want to look? Or better yet, let's scratch that question. What do you say to the person, and you could talk directly to them if you'd like, what do you say to the person who is watching right now, who is terrified of cleaning up their financial environment because they believe that it is too far gone?
A lot of my appointments, I feel, turn into counseling sessions, right? Most of the people that I have as clients become lifelong friends and clients because they like to say, I feel like I'm in therapy. If your money is funny, check your heart issues. If your money is funny, what in your heart is causing you to look at money in a certain way? And a lot of my appointments, we get deep down into what's causing this. Why do you look at money the way you look at money? And people don't understand that how we deal with money is a heart issue, right? Do you feel like because you didn't have money, you should have the right to spend it when you make it? That's a heart issue. Money identifies me. That's a heart issue. I look better when I feel better when I look better, right? That's a heart issue. There's things, I don't want to look at money. I've never really had a good relationship with money. My mom worked too much and I feel like money is associated with abandonment. It's a heart issue. So a lot of times people don't understand how they handle their money is a result of either how someone handled them or something that is within them that they haven't had a chance to heal. There's seeds that are planted that affect how we see money, how we handle money. And I really want to get down to the root with people of why are you okay with that? Why are you okay with robbing Peter to pay Paul? What in your heart makes you think that you should shop instead of, pay that bill? Do you feel better even when you don't have enough if you have a new suit on? That's the look of a thing that's masking, right? So I usually like to have really real conversations with people about what's your heart posture, what's in your heart that may be hindering your advancements financially. So one on one, I often end up having conversations about why they look at money the way they do. It's like, oh, I just don't like looking at my budget. It's just so much. It scares me. And a lot of times I find that people aren't walking in purpose.
Ooh, okay. Let's transition into
And
that.
that's what affects their money.
Tell me more.
I love the Lord, right?
Let's go there, because you always say God is the greatest.
God is the greatest, okay? And your gifts make room for you. When you're walking on purpose, when you're walking in purpose, He is a provider. The provision is there. So are you living on purpose? Like, what's in your heart? Are you doing things to make money, or are you doing what God says you should do? Right? And with that purpose, with walking in purpose, He gives you everything, the rate, the increase, the position, the jobs. Even ending up at the institute, I was not fully qualified to be at the institute because I don't have a PhD. I have years of experience. I have a bachelor's degree. I don't have a PhD. But God wanted me at the institute. He made room. He made a position for me at the institute. He put it in the hearts of man. He planted seeds to give them the idea to say, we're going to hire you part-time as a career development staff, and we're going to hire you part-time as an associate faculty. That's not a position anyone at the institute has ever held. Wow. Right? That position does not exist to date, but it existed for me in that time because my gifts made room for me in that arena.
My God.
And when I came in, the rate that they paid me was more than I even expected, more than I had ever been paid in a job, in a position that I was overqualified for. So I'm a firm believer, if you're living on purpose, if you're doing what He says you should do, then your gifts will make room for you. He will supply all your needs. And so one of the first things I tell them, are you living on purpose? Are you doing what you know you should be doing? Or are you doing what you need to do to survive?
My God.
And survival means there's no submission. Survival means that there's no submission. When you're always in survival mode, you're not submitting something to what it needs to be. You're not submitting to your purpose. You may not be submitting to what God wants you to do. Survival, lack of, having to live in survival means you're not living on purpose sometimes. Not all the times, but sometimes you're not living on purpose.
Welcome to Financial Church.
People don't understand how much your finances are attached to your spirit, how much your finances are attached to your upbringing. I had to find out a long time ago that my dad abandoning me is how I looked at money, right? How I did not live on purpose for a long time because I had to get it, I had to show, I had to do, and if I had enough money, then I wouldn't have to worry about my dad not providing for me. If I had enough money, I didn't have to worry about my father not being around and my mom having a struggle, and I didn't want to struggle like my mom struggled because she didn't have my father and all those things. So my father issues one caused me not to trust my Father in heaven. That's a whole nother story. And then my father issues caused my perspective of what success in money looked like. It became my provider, and it's not. Money is not my provider. It is a way, it's a means for me to provide, but it's not my provider. But because I lack that fatherly presence, I looked to money more as a provider and less as God, and I was just chasing things, chasing more of it. And it got to a point where the more I had, the more I didn't have. It was never enough. It was always something that came out the woodworks. It was always something I had to pay for. It was always something. It was just never enough. And I had come to a point where I was like, listen, until I let go of these seeds that were planted by my abandonment of my father, I could never truly see the provider that God is for me. And it just was like, eye-opening. And when I surrendered to His will, because He would tell me, you're not supposed to be there. You need to leave. You need to quit that job. It's like, oh, no, they need me. I would justify it. They need me. Who else is going to do this for them? you know, and if and, you know, they would give me more money and I would stay, knowing he told me to go.
Yes.
And when I tell you, God gave me 2 of the hardest years of my life because I stayed at a place that I was not purposed to be, that I was not supposed to be. When I let that go, and the flood of opportunity, the flood of purpose that came on my life, when I just let it go, I mean, I didn't have to worry about dollars.
Yes.
Because everything I needed was always provided. And if it wasn't given to me directly, my children received the favor.
That's right.
I was holding up my favor, but I was holding up my children's favor. When
Oh,
he said your
come on.
children's children, I was holding up my children's favor.
That's right.
Thinking I was my own provider.
Oof.
Isn't that crazy?
That is
Girl.
wild, and this is good.
Girl.
This is so.
So
you see why? You see why?
Look.
You see why I have Nakia Vargas
Look.
on. The flow of wisdom that comes from her will change your life forever. What I'm excited, you know, what I'm hearing, and I say this all the time to folks when they're between a rock and a hard place, I say, they're like, I'm between a rock and a hard place. How do you define the rock? And who is the rock?
Who's the rock?
Who's the rock? Because you just might be in the perfect place.
Yeah.
If you recognize who the rock is, and the rock is God, his will, his bill.
Yeah.
He will always give. God will always give provision for purpose.
Yes, he will.
Every
definitely
time,
will.
you're so right. Because every time I was in a place where the time was up, I'll never forget there was one place where I knew I was supposed to go.
Yep.
I was actually prompted a year in advance.
Yep. He
And
give your heads up. He ain't gonna
A
just bring it
whole
on you.
entire heads up. And then I stayed. And the way how that layoff hit
Had you in your feelings.
had me
Turned
in
you
my
every which way
feelings.
but loose, didn't it?
Listen, I was so disappointed. God,
Questioned yourself.
What?
Question him. I know I'm good at this.
why
me?
Why me? And God was like, well, yes, you, and you weren't operating, walking in purpose. You wanted to do it your way. And I wasn't real with myself because sometimes you don't want to call that thing what it is. I was walking in complete disobedience. I was walking in complete disobedience. Like, God, I got this. And so I trusted the paycheck and I trusted the job more than I trusted God. When I moved out of that, can I tell you the way how things started flying?
He take care of us.
In a major way.
I tell people all the time, me and JC tight. Me and JC tight. They be like, girl, you crazy. Me and JC tight.
JC is you know what I call JC? I call him Big Sandals.
See? Me and JC tight. You hear me? He takes
JC and Big Sandals
Listen.
ain't no joke.
Yes. He will look after you.
In a major he'll look after you not only financially, but then he'll look after your
He take care of your heart.
He take care of your heart. And so presence, being in the will of the Father, but even before that, understanding how much he loves you. And just being in the presence of God, not just, it's not even for the benefits. Because the benefits naturally flow.
Yes, they do.
But being in his presence alone, you want for nothing. Nothing else matters.
I can sit here and tell you, 80-20 rule. And, if, save some, spend some, invest some. But the Nakia Vargas that sits in front of you, God is the provider for me. The gifts that I have, he's given me. And everything that I need is provided. and he gives me the instruction. He gives me the blueprint. He gives me the wisdom. He opens the doors. So yes, I can teach you a skill set. I can give you knowledge on budgeting. I can give you knowledge on credit. But there's some things that practical knowledge cannot provide you, cannot do for you. Sometimes you're standing and you need to tap that rock because you've done all that you can do. Lord, I come across people all the time that says, I've done everything right, but it still seems like it's going wrong. I make more than enough money, but I don't know where it's going. I get paid, and I know I get paid more than enough, but I feel like my money going one hand and out the other. And a lot of times it's misalignment. It's misalignment. And I can't do nothing but for misalignment, but call it what it is so you understand how to move forward. I can fix your budget. I can show you how much money you have left over and how much you should be able to save. But if your heart is misaligned, if your feet, your hands, the work of your hands is misaligned, then sometimes there's going to always be a disconnect. So, I mean, I'll do what I can. Don't be shy. I'll take your money, right? I'll show you.
That's right, because we are entrepreneurs.
Look, I'll show you how to budget.
That's right.
I will help you start that LLC. I'll even help you start a nonprofit, and I'll even help you show how to keep the books for it. But you have to have the right heart posture. You have to have the right foundation in order to move things along. So, you know.
This is good. I'm never left speechless. But this is so God ordained. I'm going to start crying. Oh, boy.
Don't you do that.
Here we go. Because even launching this podcast was years. It was a seed. And then encouragement came and folks came and watered it along. Yeah. And then God said, now.
Yeah.
And I was like, now.
Yeah.
Like now.
Yeah.
And being here fills me with so much joy and purpose. Like, I was like, I gave birth to the thing.
Yes, you did. And all the pain and all the waiting, when you see that baby in front of you, and you just like, oh, that wasn't so bad.
Oh, let me go over here now. Here we go now. Here we go.
That wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
He knows.
He knows, and I'm just so grateful to Father God where there's just a platform to talk about his goodness and his mercy.
Yeah.
And be very unapologetic about it. So, sis, I'm so grateful and thank you.
No problem.
For being on this show.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Come on. Look. But now it's for fun time.
Yeah.
Time for the fun time. Fun questions. Okay. There you go. Okay, all right.
Listen.
You ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? Rapid fire. Fun and I don't even know time. All right. If you could eat one snack during tax season, you could only eat this snack. What would the snack be?
Cheeto Puffs.
Cheeto Puffs?
I love Cheeto Puffs.
You like Cheeto Puffs?
I love Cheeto Puffs.
Them things hurt my gums.
Girl, no, I love Cheeto Puffs.
But them Wise onion rings?
I used to. They ain't the same. I think they taste a little plasticky now.
I'm done. Hold on. Okay. Do you have a theme song for your life?
Excuse me. If I had to think of a theme song for my life, let me think. Praise Him in Advance.
Oh.
Marvin Sapp, Praise Him in Advance.
That is the cry in the car.
My share
of ups and downs. Come on. That is the cry in the car song.
this word
to me.
Come on.
Come on.
Praise gonna confuse that enemy every
Praise
time.
will confuse the enemy.
Come on now.
That is it.
I'll be all through it everywhere singing and dancing. They just be looking like, what's going on? God, listen.
Hallelujah.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
This is it.
Praise him in advance. I
Praise
would
him
take
in
that all
advance.
day.
I receive that, sis. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yes.
And thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Who's in Your Contacts. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe, and if you want to work with any one of us, please reach out to Vargas Financial Services or hit me up at LSK Consulting. And then I will send you over to Vargas Financial Services. That's how we rock. So thank you for everything. I love you. And until next time.
Yay.
Hey friend, thanks for tuning in to Who's in Your Contacts, where culture, connection, and collaboration collide. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen so you never miss an episode from your favorite business bestie, Crystal Ellis. By the way, want some Crystal exclusives or a chance to work with her? Visit lskconsulting.com to drop a note or follow her on Instagram at The Culture Broker. See you next time, and remember to show up as the best version of yourself today.